welcome to how how many championships can Quentin and Adam win as a tag team?
So first, gotta do this. Now, they will be a part of NXT. So, now then, we shall erase the other brands and set it up so that NXT is the only brand.
Host show NXT. NXT will be hosting those two shows.
And this show. It doesn't have them. Rubber Fett. Yeah, this one works more. Because when you realize the fact that one guy has metal trousers, the other one has normal trousers. I might be slightly pissed off now. But no, it ain't generic.
Here are your winners. 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 Here are your winners.
Oh, he lowers himself.
Your winners. Here are your winners.
Webba Fett. Scariest tag team of them all. Webba Fett. It's like Wobba Fett but misspelled horribly. Get out of here, Thatcher.
no, you're in. No, nah, that's fine. Not on this card. But I should also go ahead and make it so there is more matches per card. 9. There we go. Now then, time to check again. Still not on here. So, Roderick Strong wins his match. Alexander Wolf wins his match. If I'm correct, they released Wolf. Kaylee Ray wins her match. Imperium wins their match. And Samoa Joe and Dunn beat Ciampa and Thatcher. Huh. I forgot Joe was in the WWE. Once. And then again. And then again. Ooh, Adam has his first match against Ari Daivari. How did he win? Great potential rivalry. Okay, so Adam has 1 loss on his record, and I have 0 matches. Okay, now then. Ooh, getting close to the first pay-per-view. With 0 tag matches under our belts. Ooh, I'm in a big match. Triple threat match with Samoa Joe and Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle wins. He probably, if I'm correct, he's pinned Joe to win the match. So, even though it counts as a loss on my record, technically, I wasn't pinned or submitted. Are we on this card? We are not. Is there a new champ? No, there isn't. No, there is not. I'm pretty sure Ronda Rousey just snapped Rose's neck, so Ooh, this is a big match. Me and Adam have both lost our first matches. Now, it's time to see if the tag team of us can win it.
If it's your first time using Venmo.
And this time we're going through.
Yeah, they won.
Use this QR code or click a link in the description to install Venmo right now. And it doesn't stop there. If you send money on Venmo and put...
So, I don't care that there was tomfoolery involved. We retain. Well, no, we are 0-1 solo, me and Adam. Well, Quentin and Adam, but still, we are undefeated as a team. Ooh, Adam might get himself a big match. Why am I not in his corner? That actually makes no sense. Why would they not have me in Adam's corner and Adam in my corner? Allies. Me. Between me and him have been working together. Of course me and him are gonna be allies, gang. What? Main manager. Me.
Beast in the payment note, you'll be entered into a chance to win $10,000.
Yeah, that part of your house is gone now.
Not only did we bring a wrecking ball, but we also brought an excavator. Take the roof off!
It's supposed to rain tomorrow.
Good.
Demolition!
You can scan this QR code or click in the description and download Venmo. Thank you so much for sponsoring the video. And that's it for the destruction. See you in 19 hours.
All right, sounds good.
I'm gonna make $500,000 tomorrow. Good night. Can you guys see the timer? There it is, right there. Haven't seen them in a long time. Emotions are hitting me pretty heavy right now. Money's the thing we trade our life for. Giving up a third of a year while...
Okay, time to see if Adam wins. Adam wins! That's a big win for Adam. Now he's 1-1.
For $500,000. Make sure you're trading your life for things that'll work. worth it.
How are you feeling?
I'm so ready to get out of here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you mind staying in this room while I set up the surprise?
I'm not leaving this room. I'm not risking getting out.
Okay.
It's got to be minutes now. I hear people outside.
Tommaso
You can just
Ciampa,
hear it.
Walter,
It's that background
and Pete
noise
Dunne.
of 100 people talking.
Walter
I
is
just-
the new champ.
Everybody, it's time! Give me a countdown from 10. 10, 9, 10, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Guys.
come on out! It has officially been 100 days. Step on the red line.
Are you sure?
It has been 100 days.
Okay.
Let's go.
Lost. Now we're 1-1 as a tag team.
Okay?
Yeah.
Are you excited? Here's your check for $500,000. Everyone, give it a round of applause.
This has been an amazing 100 days. I am glad it's over, though.
It's amazing.
I don't know what to say.
If you haven't already subscribed, we can keep doing a video. Goodbye.
You're spending like a cash machine.
Subscribe for Feastables cookie. I don't even like Feastables that much.
Hey guys, did you know that Vaporeon is in danger and we need to act quickly to save Vaporeon in the tri-state area? See, I like Vaporeon, not as much as some others might, as recent memes will lead us to believe, but out of my 3 favorite Pokemon, Vaporeon is one of them. I think that recent public opinion on designs from Generation 1 has become a bit mixed, with how simple some of them are. But iconic and lovable designs are still there. I think the original trio of evolutions are cool, but I personally believe that Vaporeon stands out. It's simple on the surface, but is something pretty unique, being an aquatic mammalian quadruped. And the fact that it's actually a good Pokemon helped it to stand out the rest of the time. Vaporeon has a decent amount of bulk, mostly coming from its high HP stat, and being a water type gives it only 2 weaknesses. Electric is common, and grass isn't totally unseen, but water does tend to be one of the better defensive typings since they all
Try to
Everyone, I'm Cubastic and I have 3 new puzzles on my desk today that you're gonna love, because first of all, they are very bright, they're cool, and they all have a special feature. When
Webbuffet just beat the champs. We're rivals of the champs! Wait! What is the rankings? Oh my god, we are so low on the rankings, and now we are in a rivalry with the champs?
when you look at these puzzles, or even when you hold them in your hands, it's completely incomprehensible that this puzzle is super easy or impossible to solve. There are so many of such puzzles, and often when I gave other people a try to solve them, some people could solve them in a second, and some of them took a few hours.
Ooh, rematch. It's the rematch, and we beat them again! We have the champion's number! Wait, nope, those aren't the champs. Two and one. We are now. Wait, no, we're 3-1. We're now 3-1.
To solve the puzzle. And that's the kind of puzzle I have on my desk today. The first one is this ball, and it's made up of more than 20 pieces. And all I know is that there's a huge amount of other stuff inside of it.
And
And
we
we
become
have
4-1. We're 3-1 now. I mean 3-2. but we kind of have their number. We beat them in the first match.
To get it all out and then put it back together. We also have a puzzle that I just printed with a 3D printer this morning. It's called the 4F. We'll come back to it at the end of the video. And let's start with this little
We got their
bright
number. We beat them a
box.
second time now.
It's gonna
We're
be
now
our
5
first
and 2.
puzzle for today. It consists
We
of
know,
a frame
won't it?
like this, in which some of the blue parts are placed. Very trendy color nowadays. I really like the way it looks, and by the way, for some reason these parts are flat on one side and on the other side they have this kind of a double body. Well, we all saw how these parts were placed here, so in fact repeating this placement is quite easy. It all falls into place in literally 2 seconds. We just use our logic. I won't even time it. So, as you can see, the details are literally in place. It would seem that the puzzle is solved and there's nothing difficult, but this is just the beginning, because we have a rectangular frame on the back. And we have to put all these elements into it. So, let's try to do that. And I've actually faced similar puzzles before, so I know what the secret is. When we put these pieces on this side, let's say in this ladder, we had the only interaction mechanics of these parts. They came into contact this way.
Enemies.
And that's the way a person is thinking while trying to solve this puzzle. He has absolutely no idea how they can interact with each other in some other way. But to solve this puzzle, you need to think a little outside the box.
We're 2 and 2 against them. We're almost in the main event. We've only been a part of the roster for 2 months now. There's a new trailer that came out for Anime Insanity episode 10, so I'm gonna watch it.
Good. Leave me here. Just leave me be.
Welcome to Indefinite Island. Congratulations! You've been eliminated. Get ready to stay here for a while, if you want another chance.
Now, what did you mean by it's almost time?
Walkie Talkie here promised us all another chance. I assume to continue the game.
Maybe we will all have a chance to be in an explosion.
We're not exploding.
Hey, quit putting our sinkers down. Maybe we will explode. Probably not, though.
What? Maybe we all get to explode. We're not gonna explode. How do you know? Even though we're probably not gonna explode. Aw. Hey, don't like how sad he sounded. 29th, Saturday.
Hey guys,
October
Adam
29th.
here. Yes, episode 10 is so close, it's almost here. But you know what is actually here right now? Our official news store and merch. Woo!
Okay, now that's an advertisement. Get in here, Alfred.
I have been taking Mario Party way too seriously for about the past 6 years, and have even hosted multiple competitive events for it. Despite how luck-based this whole series can be, I genuinely believe I am one of the best and most knowledgeable players in the whole world when it comes to this silly little game. From grinding minigames to studying boards and even completing several difficult challenges because I have done it all. But ironically enough, the hardest challenge I've ever encountered was one that I failed several times, and it all revolved around Luigi winning by doing absolutely nothing. This meme has been prevalent since the dawn of YouTube. Showcases of Luigi winning across various games, all while doing nothing at all. This challenge separates the game into two parts. One, the board where I have full control, and two, the mini games where Luigi can't do anything at all. Of course, this is always in a vacuum with a controlled environment, like manipulating a CPU in an individual match. So eventually, I had to ask, can Luigi really win by doing absolutely nothing? Oh, and if you're into this kind of thing, I've been streaming all these challenge runs on twitch.tv/alpharad and uploading them on this channel when I'm done. And if that's not your thing and you prefer the edited video, look at this graph. I mean, if I can be honest, you guys do.
14% aren't subscribed to the second funniest YouTuber on the internet, because I'm the first funniest. I have humor, like your mother. Damn.
A really good job of subbing, so I have to take these graphs from other channels. But hey, we can always use more, right? Anyway, thank you so much for the support. I just want to keep making fun videos. Goodbye. In older Mario parties, this challenge would be a cakewalk due to more linear boards, generally weaker CPUs, and several other options to find coins and items. But I wanted to try this in Mario Party Superstars, as I felt like this had a difficult time with the board, little to no economy, and the hard.
Is this an Extreme Wars match? Table match.
Across the 5 boards and Superstars, I decided that Yoshi's Tropical Island would be the best map for the challenge. I was hoping that with all the possible, I just played for bonus stars. Of course, I could aim for chance time on the last turn and easily win it all, but that wasn't the challenge I wanted to achieve.
They said go for a drive, and these maps have been unbeatable. So we're giving Chevron the 10 round for
Detonate. That in an instant, because I knew it was about to happen.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims and all our favorite horror movies. I'm James O'Gees, and today we're looking at Haunt, a Shudder exclusive from 2019. Haunt is a straightforward horror film with no thrills, written and directed by Brian Woods and Scott Beck. They wrote it at the same time they wrote A Quiet Place, and that movie's massive success allowed them to get this made and direct it themselves. Haunt takes place at a haunted house so extreme it makes McCamey Manor look like Universal Horror Movies. It's impossible not to compare Haunt to Hellfest, which had come out 1 year earlier in 2018. They're superficially similar in that they both take place at Halloween attractions. Both movies have amazing production design and enjoyable cast members who give natural performances. Both are flawed but still enjoyable, partly because both of them are willing to get extreme with their kills. Despite all those similarities, though, these two movies are drastically different in tone. While Hellfest is a party where things are fun and festive, even with the horror going on, Haunt is sober and cold, with kind of downright mean-spirited. This isn't joyless and grim movie. Like, it starts with a domestic abuse storyline and never cheers up from there, but it's what the movie is going for, and it nails it. It succeeds at what it's trying to do. Haunt has a super simple story, but commits itself to every other part of the filmmaking process. It's got good acting, a pronounced mood, and a clear tone. There's not much to the supporting characters, but they're still fun and likable, for the most part. My biggest issue with the movie is the domestic abuse storyline. It's not done in an exploitative way or anything, but it still feels a little forced in this otherwise simple slasher. Seems like they wanted the movie to have a theme, and this was the one they landed on. Regardless, Haunt makes for an excellent Halloween season viewing. If you want a playlist with Hellfest and Trick or Treat, you'll be having an excellent spooky time. Speaking of spooky times, well, the discount come from. To count the kills, first you must count your luck. Gotta get to counting, so yes. Small, plastic, I'm feeling gel tips? Of course, it's today's sponsor, Raycons. I know they're optimized gel tips anywhere. After all, they provide the perfect veneer fit.
Oh, thank God, that's what you found.
Okay, that wasn't so bad. On to the next one. Smooth, sleek, ovular. Oh, duh. The Raycon charging case. It's got 32 hours of battery life in the case on the front. I can do this. Let's see. Huh. It's papery. There's a bunch of it. It feels green. Oh, I know what this is. It's all my savings. Since Raycon is half.
How do you feel when something's green?
The price of other people's eyes, but not my ears and awareness. Plus, with Alexa and Siri compatibility, Alexa, order me a body bag. Set yourself up with your own. Click the link in the description, or by going to
iraycon.com/deadmeat to get 15% off your Raycon
Alexa, order me a body
purchases.
bag.
Haunt surprises are as fun as sponsored earbuds and gift of the kids. The movie begins with tools and craftsmanship. Someone's building an extreme haunted house. They're making sure that string is right and that the title has a car. Our Halloween set film takes place in a Haddonfield-like town. It's great when it comes to decorations, but it's got a problem with Pumpkin Chuck and Trucker Truckers. The asshole in that red truck is this dude Sam, who evidently abuses his girlfriend Harper. She covers up the evidence while watching public domain horror films. She can't bring herself to break up, even at the behest of her best friend Bailey.
I'm not breaking up with this bitch tonight.
To distract Harper, they go to a Halloween party at a bar with their friends and romance. Mallory is dressed as a flapper. She's afraid of spiders. Must be more of the outdoorsy type. Angela's dressed as a nurse and is an actual nurse. And that's pretty much the extent of their character development. After a round of arachnid juice, Harper connects with a hottie hot named Nathan. Geez, Harp, take a Polaroid. It'll last longer. Nathan's played by Will Britton, previously seen on the Kill Count in The Forever Purge. He's dressed as a baseball player, which, like, fuck you, Nathan. Wear a real costume, dude. Even your annoying friend Evan put some effort in. He's the front of a human centipede.
Other two dudes just bailed, so I'm walking around looking like a fucking jackass.
I actually like Harper and Nathan's conversation and chemistry. Maybe they connect, because she, too, didn't dress up at all.
The team awarded me worst costume.
Well, both of you should share that award, you wet blankets. The group is looking for an after party, and Evan's got the same flyer we saw printed in the mood opener. It's for an extreme haunt they've never heard of before, in the middle of nowhere. Let's go! Haunt tells you everything you need to know about these characters in the first 12 minutes, before they get to the spooky part. The time spent with them being normal, likable people was an important part of the script for producer Eli Roth.
On again.
First thing he said to us was,
Got attacked
"Can I help
after
you
the match.
make the first 15 minutes have even more characters? Let's just flesh this ensemble group of friends out as much as humanly possible."
They arrive at the haunt, where the sign lights up in a way that spells out this movie's name. At the front entrance, they find a clown bouncer, and when Bailey asks for a clue as to what this place is, the cloncierge comes up empty-handed. Just kidding. There's a key behind your ear.
5 stars for this place. Creepy ass clown dude, shitty ass matches.
The key unlocks the place's rules. Patrons must do as instructed.
We are now 4 and 2 against them.
Including hand over their phones to be put away inside this lockbox. Think it'll be worth it?
Yes, yes, we're doing it.
The clown opens the garage door of doom, and after they enter, he closes it behind them. Clown over. The first room of the haunt doesn't seem very scary. Just some standard bastard
Can it become
skellies.
3 wins, 4 losses? Nope. 2 wins, 5 losses. To these
One
exact
pops
guys.
out of the wall, but after they walk through the intergalactic
means we only have
Barbarama, they get to a
4
room decorated
out
from the
of
fall jigsaw
7.
pitch. She's here to put on a show for them, co-starring a young woman in a body bag, who was actually seen waiting to enter the haunt when our character group first arrived. This chick is screaming for her life.
Hey, Dallas. It's always special when you come to visit. We can't wait.
But only Harper seems to realize it isn't acting when the young woman gets a brand deal for her face. A pesky fog machine covers the money shot, but knowing how the rest of this movie goes, I'll count this as a kill, even though it's not definitive. The group is given a choice for their path going forward, safe or not safe. Bailey, Angela, and Nathan take a walk on the mild side, while Evan and Mallory decide to live Moss. Ooh, Harper's going that a ways too? Didn't take her for the bold type. The safe path seems chill until they realize there's oil everywhere, with nary a Tide pen in sight. And they're keeping the oil in bags? In this economy, I guess that's like stuffing dollar bills in a mattress. The only other scare down this road is unflattering reflections.
And come look at this. This is amazing.
What's amazing about a funhouse mirror? Have they never been inside a haunted house before? Well, actually, some of the cast hadn't. Luckily, Haunt was filmed during the Halloween season, so the directors got to take their cast to real haunts as research, when they weren't busy going to Halloween parties dressed like their own lead characters.
That was a great experience to see somebody actually submit to this like terrifying process of going into a haunted house and see how they react. And for the cast, it really felt
Second
like
title match.
together.
Everyone on the cast
We are 2 and 5 against these guys. And with that being the case, we are 4 and 7 with our record.
positively of Beck and Woods, saying the set was laid back and comfortable. The unsafe path takes its travelers through fake cobwebs full of spiders. Mallory doesn't like that. Then they have to go through a coffin that turns into a door, but only when the lid is shut. That's some claustrophobic fun. Harper finally settles on her favorite horror movie of the year. When they reach this spot that looks like the back rooms got turned into a laser tag zone, which sounds like it'd be awesome and awful. Evan takes point in the pointy hole, with Harper and then Mallory crawling behind him. Damn, this tunnel looks like hell on your hands and knees. Harper joins Evan on the other side, but Mallory's disappeared. That, or on her way to catching up with them. She grew up and joined a New Jersey Ice Hockey fan club. The safe players find a few holes they're supposed to stick their hands into. Nathan takes the opportunity to quote his favorite
Introducing the challengers. At a combined weight of 581 pounds.
Get her arm attacked by someone on the other side. When she finally gets it free, she sees that her arm has been sliced open. Harper and Evan are forced by the Silent Devil to continue on without Mallory, towards a door that looks like it's been committed to Door Asylum. On the other side is the world-famous speaker slide. Hey, what's the Bluetooth for those? I want to hear how the biscuit sounds coming out of them. Right now, the speakers are playing chainsaw noises, but Harper still goes along with Pin My Slide. She finds herself in a foresty area with a zombie with a chainsaw. Look at me, I'm Leatherface! Evan shoves the performer, which, you know, not a great idea, and they're punished for his sins by getting locked in a room with the Wimps. Because of Bailey's injury, everyone knows this place is dangerous now, so it's scary when they realize they have front row seats to the witch's encore performance.
Hey, excuse me, we have someone hurt in here?
Too bad. You know show business. The show must go on. No matter what! It's Mallory's turn in the spotlight, and her friends realize what's happening pretty quickly. The suddenness of Mallory's murder is shocking, and leaves the other characters speechless. Great use of a quick cutaway for it. Actor Skylar Halford had a hard time filming her death scene, but not for any of the reasons you might expect.
One time I first sure farted and then just called action, and then I was like, I have to keep straight face.
They try to figure out what to do. With everyone else in shock or hurt, Nathan decides to go ahead to try and find a way out. The first room he runs
and
into
introducing
is
the champions.
This is one of the most
accompanied by
suspenseful
Alexander
sequences
Wolf
and a great
at a
example
combined
of
weight
simplicity.
of
Nothing scarier than
440
a bunch of
pounds.
evil laundry.
They
just
are the
aspecting of Halloween
NXT
themselves. One of the
Tag
goes on out of there,
Champions.
and Nathan calls out for help. The lights
Marcel
turn on, and the ghost
Bartel
returns, letting us hear
Fabian
one of the
Leitner
boys speak for the very first time.
Saying you need help?
Yes, he does. Help figuring out, what are those? Back in the witch's chain-link cottage, Harper tells Bailey about her backstory.
I grew up in a haunted house.
But she ain't talking about delusion or Erebus. She means it metaphorically. Her father was abusive towards her and her mom, and she dreams of returning home without her dad there. Again, the domestic abuse thing doesn't work for me. I'm not trying to be flippant about the theme. It's just not done in a way that I find interesting. Beck and Woods make a case that it's thematically relevant for a Halloween movie. Just like everyone dressed up in costumes, Harper's pretending to be someone she's not, someone who's okay.
Every single day of her life, she wakes up and she puts on a mask.
Nathan returns with the ghost of Lawsuit's future.
Guys are fine.
They ask him to get them out of there, promising that although they're scared, they are not parents.
I'm going to talk to your manager.
Ghost agrees to open the door and lead them back through the haunt. But now, let's see all the rooms again, only in reverse. Ghost offers up his supposed name, Mitch, and assures them that Mallory's fine and waiting for them outside. Mitch's arrival really helps the movie as it reaches its halfway point. Like, you know he's probably bad, but he does a good job seeming sincere at times.
Holy shit, is she bleeding?
But of course, he never takes off his vanilla soft-serve looking mask. So yeah, I wouldn't pitch my ride to Mitch. That mask and all of the haunt's amazing sets come courtesy of production designer Austin Gore. The directors hired him based on his work art directing La La Land and Her, saying they wanted someone who wasn't an obvious choice for horror.
You love horror movies. We'll take care of it. We get the horror covered. We got the exactly. We'll cover them. Just make the people.
Gore and art director Jason Green based the masks on vintage vacuum form masks, which were scary enough even before the custom modifications. The haunt itself was designed to have a homespun appearance, with wooden pallet walls and paint that hasn't fully dried yet. It's to show how this operation is built quickly to lure in unsuspecting victims.
We didn't quite have enough time to get it ready for these people.
Though it wasn't built as a full-on walkthrough haunt, the sets were designed so they could actually connect and be put together in a way that worked for filming. The exterior of the haunt was played by the abandoned A.J. Jolly Memorial School, which closed in 2006 in a small Kentucky town. The interiors were built in an abandoned dairy factory in the same region, northern Kentucky, outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. Evan takes McLean duty again and treads his crawling through the knee-busting tunnels. Mitch is next, but as soon as he's out the other side, he cuts off everyone behind him by installing a reverse doggy door. Now is not the time for home improvement, Mitch. That's what the opening credits were for. Nathan is trapped in the tunnel as the Devil Man barges through the door behind the others. He's got a pitchfork and he's looking to harvest some blood. Angela provides a hearty crop. God damn, another brutal head stab. Bailey escapes into the tunnels, but before she can reach Nathan, he falls through a trap door. The haunted house always wins. Evan learns that when he makes it outside and can't find Mallory, or box with her phones. Devil Man has cornered Harper, and she thinks it's her abusive boyfriend Sam, probably because she saw Devil Man earlier, creeping outside the club. She begs for mercy. But when he lifts his mask, he reveals a slightly less tatted up Darth Maul. Turns out these people's faces are just as elaborate as the masks they wear. That clown guy from the entrance is ready to go bozo 24/7. The makeup effects on the killers is
that clown. They're ugly. Leave it talk, I just look at a clown like, you're ugly. Hope they explode.
On the kill count twice before. He was the man in the mask in The Stranger's Prey at Night and a Foundation member in the Wrong Turn reboot. Outside, Evan realizes that Mitch is a bitch and he shows up without anyone else behind him. The Ghost has got other priorities going on right now, like delivering the creepiest line of the film.
Do you still want to see that face?
At this point? Nah, not really, man. Don't want to see that hammer in your hand either. All of a sudden, Evan is dead. The demasked Mitch having beaten him off screen. Kind of lame, but they make up for it. Mitch uses the hammer claw to tear off Evan's skin mask. I think Mitch's face is the only one I don't like. Looks too much like a prosthetic instead of a real face that's been modded. It was modeled by Bridges after burn victims, lacking a nose that they keyed out with green paint. Ghost/Mitch is played by Ohio native Cheney Harlow, who would go on to be in the Wrong Turn reboot with Damien Mapai, who was a Waffle House manager when he was cast in Haunt. Back in Woods, he cast regular people as the villains to make it scarier that they would do this. For instance, the clown is played by Justin Markson, who had been friends with them since they were teenagers in Iowa. Markson had to audition multiple times because they kept thinking of him as the nice guy they knew in real life. For the clown, he tried to channel Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men, with a voice inspired by Philip Seymour Hoffman in Mission Impossible 3. Devil Man wants to remove Harper's face as well, but Nathan shows up, now one of Wednesday, and saves the battle. They get separated in the satanic panic, and the Louisville Slugger finds the back end of the Ricci holes where it all went wrong. He makes his way to the clown guy's control room, finds Harper's phone on the table. The last person to message her was Sam, who's been driving around trying to figure out where she is. When Mitch shows up, Nathan somehow texts Sam the phone's location without even looking. Mitch is so jealous of those skills, he tries to kill him with a hammer, but Sam's already on the way with his pumpkin chucking truck. Is this movie really going to make us cheer for the abusive boyfriend's arrival?
No.
Harper finds herself in
Gonna die, I hope.
She reaches into a bucket of dead animals and touches something long, hard, and battery operated. It's a flashlight, you perverts. She's gonna need it.
Not that animal, oh great! Oh, hey, what animals are those? Hey! Okay, they were rats, okay.
Wanders into a room with nails on the floor and knives on the ceiling. I like to call it the deconstructed Cenobite room. A Grandpa Munster jump scares her onto an anti-wet bandit security system, mirroring an incident in the filmmaker's other movie, A Quiet Place. Harper realizes she has to make it through a guillotine prepared by that chef in Little Mermaid, and Grandpa's sawing at the rope like you were goddamn Wile E. Coyote. Some extra-strength Elmer's nearly ruins her chances when it gives her an art-class exfoliation, but Harper makes it through by the skin on those serrated teeth. Funny enough, out of the whole experience, actor Katie Stevens says the glue was the worst part for her.
I literally was just like walking around set like this all the time so that it wouldn't get messed up.
Harper lands in the wrong franchise, but rolls with it. She's in a creepy bedroom that causes her to go all Charlotte Perkins Gilman. She finds a clue that leads her to strip that bed like it were her hand skin. Oh, good thing this ain't Hotel Hell. Gordon Ramsay would be reaming that Devil Man. Beneath the bed is a dollhouse music box, and inside of it is her jump scare to freedom. But Devil Man ain't looking to let her get to the Tournament of Champions that quick. The experience reminds her of her childhood trauma, which I guess gives her the resolve or whatever to come out and stab Devil Man in the eye with a key. Calm down, guys. It's just one more piercing. Harper hears Pop Goes the Weasel playing, and the little ditty ends with a bang.
God damn, it's not shot. Via me. I had big brain English word.
The blast is loud enough to remind Nathan that he can't leave the movie just yet. Damn, dude, we were so close to running home. Looks like the shotgun blast only nicked Harper in the chest, but that devil's still yelling at her that he wants an eye for a fucking eye! He strangles her directly in front of the 12-gauge 8-timer, even though he knows that Weasel goes pop-pop. He should have remembered the devil's in the details. Now the devil's all over the walls. The haunt employees call an audible, turning on the lights and sending in what appears to be the final boss. Cool. Oh, hell yeah! Walking around looking like the Grim Reaper from
It's me.
Harper gets the jump on them and stabs him in the chest with a pitchfork. If that seemed too easy, it's because this was actually a captive Bailey with her mouth taped up. Bailey couldn't make hay out of the situation, and Harper inadvertently killed her. Good thing the abusive Sam is here to save the day with Google Maps. Alright guys, when you reach the wall bong, turn right. Can't miss the evil clown. Sam walks into the red tripwire he saw strung up in the opening, which triggers a bolt being fired into his neck, hit by the Frankenstein gun. Then the clown does another magic trick. Look, no more hands! I like that instead of asking us to root for Sam, Haunt makes him a punchline by killing him as soon as he arrives. It's a damn good high-striking kill, too. Harper hears a chainsaw coming towards her, but Nathan cheats his way through the escape room with a sledgehammer. Before he can turn the new window into a new door, the chainsaw zombie arrives in the room with Harper, wielding a much faster remodeling tool. Oh, and Mitch is also here too. Giant Leatherface attacks Harper, and together they create a sawed-off shotgun. She uses it to shoot him. Hasta la vista, zombie. Mitch tries to perform another clawfoot facelift, but Harper knocks him out and saves Nathan. They flee, and we never see Ghost/Mitch again, but I'm not counting him as dead. That hit didn't look like a kill to me. Actor Cheney Morrow agrees.
This might be me, but I'm not convinced I am dead.
I'll adjust my stats if I need to for Haunt 2, Mitch's Revenge. On their way out, Harper and Nathan corner Grandpa Munster, who folds like a cheap cake. He says he's not really a bad guy. He's only training to become a surgically modified serial killer.
I don't know the names, but one of them is tattoo artist.
This is pretty much the only info we get about what these killers do the rest of the year. I know some people wanted more backstory, but honestly, I didn't even need that line. Before they can learn anything else, the guy gets shot in the head by this long-lost, wrong-turn brother. It's a demasked, de-chainsawed zombie, and Nathan and Harper immediately attack his arms. Good work, you two. Harper makes it out through a hatch in the ground, but the witch cuts Nathan off and tries to kill her with an evil monologue. Nathan interrupts by grabbing her ankles, allowing Harper to kill the witch by slamming her head with the steel door. I guess those masks are purely aesthetic, and not for safety purposes. Clown Guy decides to hang it up until next season, so he puts Chekhov's oil to good use. Oh man, this is gonna affect the global market for show. He burns down the entire haunt and all the evidence of their ill doings in the last scene filmed for the movie. It was done the night before Thanksgiving, 15 years to the day from when Beck and Woods shot their first student film together with Justin Markson. That left the actor pretty emotional.
Jeez, I did not expect this to happen. Scott and Brian came up and gave us a hug. Good friends of mine.
Out in the parking lot, the still alive zombie is working overtime trying to stop the survivors from getting away. Nathan brings his bat to the gunfight, but thankfully Zombie only manages to hit him in the love handle. Nathan swings away, and in slow-mo, delivers what I believe is a lethal swing to the zombie's head. That was a hard hit, and that dude was already pretty messed up. They find Sam's abandoned truck on the side of the road, revealing his character's ultimate purpose, a getaway vehicle. They follow a camera drone to the nearest hospital, where Harper has a hospital dream that wraps up her backstory plot. In it, she returns home and finds that her abusive dad is gone, but too bad Mom's got a new boyfriend. Though that was just a dream, Clown Guy really does have her address, thanks to the release forms everyone signed to enter the haunt. What he didn't think about is how his haunt gave Harper a crash course in home aloneing. Before he can figure out why campus housing would come with a decorative shotgun, Harper appears with the gun in her hands. She's been waiting for Clown Guy, and she shoots him as the movie ends.
Now that's what I call an extreme haunt. But just how extreme? Let's find out and get to the numbers. But first, don't you want to see my face?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, normal.
You like it?
Yeah.
I'm starting off slow.
Wait, he used his nose on. Dang it, no. Are you kidding me? Lost again?
11 people died in Haunt. There were 6 male victims and 5 female victims. as a nearly even Halloween.
So
You know,
close.
this same victim count and gender breakdown only occurred once before in a kill count, with American Psycho 2 All-American Girl. It's a hilarious episode hosted by my incredible wife. Watch it if you haven't.
I did watch that. Not on stream. I have a life. But still. Wait, what?
Hunter. I know this is a bad time, so I have a little bit. Please, go ahead. This isn't really easy for me to say, but everything that's been going on Raw, I've reached my breaking point with everything that's happening with Dominic. I just don't see a way moving forward. Hunter, I won't fight my son, not even when he's at his worst. Yelling in my face, taunting me to fight him. Know how I feel? Can't imagine. I still see that little boy that used to sit on my lap, used to bounce around. He'd fall asleep on my shoulders.
Ooh, Breeze Fandango versus me and Adam. Breeze and Fandango won because we were attacked. Dear God. Now it is 4 and 8.
I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry. You know I love WWE. This is my home. But I wanted to come to you tonight and look you in the eyes to tell you. I quit. I can't imagine what you're going through. There's gotta be another way here. Come on, let's just talk about this for a minute. See if we can come up with another solution, Matt. You can't, man. Come on, 5 minutes. Just let me think about this. Come on.
L.A. Knight.
Box office, you just have to sit back and admire the magnetism of the man. Box office, you just have to sit back and admire the magnetism of the man.
And it's Law trying to take advantage as LA Knight goes right after him. Referee to ring the bell, and he does, and we're underway. A long way from championship wrestling from Hollywood, but this is the megastar. LA said that, no matter.
L.A. Just going to show you the WWE YouTube channel because I'm not watching that on bloody Fox's WWE thing. That doesn't work very well, it seemed. L.A. Knight. L.A. Knight.
I'll check his ass for 48 hour protection. Smell fresh is fresh. No matter what.
Again, I've lost. Me and Adam have lost 8 matches and have only won 4. So we are. Let me grab my thing. So Webafet has. Let me find my pen real quick. There's a high chance that I lost it, so I'm gonna look in my closet for a pen or pencil. Okay, got a pen. So, Adam is 1-1. I have 1 win. Weba Fett has, so far, 8 losses and 4 wins. And so in total that is... So currently, in total that is 5 wins and 10 losses.
LA Knight, who said that, no matter how much I try, I can't stop being exactly what I am. I heard you, I heard your cheers, and LA Knight is back and ready to do business. What is he talking about? Oh, we keep that covered up with a suit for so long.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 581 pounds.
Wade Barrett is on commentary.
I think I got one ball hammer left in me, Michael Cole. Driving. He's flying a car in that breaker. But LA Knight looks to take control of this match. Finally getting the wind back in his sails exactly where it should be. And Knight now with a driving knee to the side of the face. And Knight with the fly. Will beat over the top rope, shoulder well planted. Confidence 10, charisma 10, in-ring athleticism 10. His first goes Francois. LA Knight. Oh, it comes off.
And introducing the champions at a combined...
Stick to the catwalk. Oh, landed with a BFT. Unforced trauma. Knight with a win.
Okay. MNJ TV plays. How many subscribers does he have? People need to subscribe. Go subscribe. Yamato! Why did my voice get so high when I tried to say Yamato? Yamato! Your Nintendo Switch controllers. Wait a second. Peter Kennedy.
It is that time of the year. It's very much the time put down my delivery type and show you guys the gifts I got for my Christmas. So this is Alan. First the gift. You can see here on the left. It is in my lap. I want to introduce the concept of the future. Basically, it's like a real switch control of the past. I'm just going to put it on the
Drawing 100.
Then may the devil himself take me away.
You've been cancelled on Twitter! Oh no! I hate being cancelled on Twitter, it's funny! If you're not watching the Super Mario Brothers Nintendo Super Duper 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 Nintendo Super Mario Nintendo show, you're gonna go to hell and die. Star? Yes. Oh, hell yeah, I'm so excited. Wow, he's the only sponsor high quality enough for his channel. I want to be one like that. Yes. His elbow dropped the foot. Foot. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and we'll pause the video. The new champs. The new champs. Finally. What? Find the intent to watch this match.
I never played it. I just want the series. I don't actually care to. Game over. Hey, what was what we got? Whoa, okay, this control stick feels really touchy. The controller is comfortable. I can feel it on this one. It's time to be house still let us dogs. Why did we get the scars? Because you're Ridley, huh? I mean, I know that. I can afford to do myself. Shoot. Hold on, shoot it. Oh, dang it. I had to get one. I still get honestly, it's got
Hamburger. Downside in terms like Tucker is not having enough friends to play it. Or at least you one. Lucky for me, my friends are nearly decent, so I can't play it.
What if my coverage isn't right? What if I have something in the food truck? What if it gets covered in empanadas? Stay Farm, we're there for you like this. Thanks. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Okay, I'm gonna watch this again. Ah, I forgot how loud that was. I'm not joking. Whenever I see those videos where it's like this, the Owl House comic thing, it's all like the comic's always made by I think the same person. So I'm gonna quickly figure out who's been making these comics. Someone on Reddit. People think people on Reddit are lame. I'm at least winning. So, you. And note was made by this person. It's always like the same style, yeah. This person made this. Others. Oh, look. Aww. No one has made any jokes about my magic part post I made on the MJG subreddit, where it was literally just Pikachu and it said magic part, bottom text. A magic part! Quite possibly my favorite scene from Oddballs. Let me check the scene out. No, they aren't. I like the new mobs. Ooh. Orsi, of course, made a video about the Mistform Crimson Morning V2 cancelled build explain in FNF. God damn, that's a long ass title. And I don't even know how to say your name, Matt. So I would just get hit with an RKO from out of nowhere from a guy who was just Randy Orton. Or Matt Riddle, just like, pop, nerd. I don't like vaping. Vaping isn't cool. Vaping's like smoking. It's not poggers.
Nothing is as scary as the facts. Vaping can deliver toxic metals like nickel and lead into your lungs.
The Mistform Crimson Morning V2 cancelled build just dropped, and in this video, I want to show you the characters that they actually updated and added to the mod before it got cancelled, and I want to show you some of the characters that ended up being scrapped. At the end of the video, I also want to give you a quick summary as to why the mod actually ended up being cancelled in the first place. The first character that I want to talk about on this list is called Tessida, which actually means squid, I believe, but we're just going to call him Starve Squidward because obviously he's like a play on Starve Eggman. And since we know that information, we can pretty much guess how his backstory goes. Squidward probably came upon a citizen of Bikini Bottom unalive and decided to take a bite out of that fish, and he ended up getting a taste for the citizen. So just like Starve Eggman, he probably got obsessed with actually devouring people. For Squidward's case, he's underwater like in the actual mod, you can see SpongeBob laid on the ground, picked apart, just like how Starved Eggman did Sonic. Now something that I do find interesting here though is that Mr. Krabs actually comes to the rescue of SpongeBob as opposed to Patrick. I say that that's weird because SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs aren't necessarily best friends. You would expect Patrick to come, kind of like how Tails came to save Sonic. And something else that's interesting that you guys may have noticed is that Mr. Krabs has on his weird contraption, and that's actually his anti-ghost armor, and it originated from an episode of SpongeBob called Pranks-A-Lot. Another character that was supposed to be in this song but ended up being scrapped is Tessida Plankton. In this picture here, you can actually see Plankton sitting on Squidward's shoulder. And it kind of makes sense that if Squidward ever did turn evil, Plankton would be like the logical accomplice to have on his side. Simply because Plankton has the brains and the technology to help Squidward do whatever he wants to do in Bikini Bottom. The next character that we see is actually SNL SpongeBob, and just like it sounds like, this is a version of SpongeBob that appears on a cartoon version of SNL, specifically on an episode called Propaganda, and it basically had a bunch of old U.S. presidents talking about how to make propaganda things. And what the presidents were doing were using cartoon characters in order to make racist statements about other countries so that Americans would feel okay about going to war with them. Now, one of the characters that they actually tried to use was SpongeBob, but SpongeBob stood up to them and said he doesn't feel comfortable being racist. And of course, the president didn't take that very well, and that's why you see SpongeBob in the cage that's talking about they're going to be going to keep him. And they're basically going to get rid of him because he doesn't play the game like they want him to. And just a fun fact, there's also a part where the Powerpuff Girls try to come in and save SpongeBob, and they end up getting completely mocked. I definitely won't put that in this video because YouTube has been doing a good job at demonetizing my stuff, so I don't want to attempt it. But you can go look it up on your own if you want to. Next, I want to show you some characters that actually got updated visuals and give you a little bit of their backstory. Next character on our list is going to be Sir Plankton, and this character is a one-course meal. In this episode, Mr. Crab finds out that Plankton is afraid of whales and decides to dress up as his own daughter, Pearl, which you don't know is a whale, to basically terrorize Plankton. Plankton is so traumatized by this that he basically wants to not be on this earth anymore, and he goes to the middle of the street and lays down waiting for a bus to come and run him over. Now, in the original episode of this, SpongeBob actually tells Plankton that Mr. Krabs is playing a prank on him, and Plankton is basically able to get back at Mr. Krabs, right? But the creepypasta, it doesn't go down like that. Plankton refuses to believe SpongeBob and continues waiting for the bus to run him over. SpongeBob tries to show him the truth by dragging Mr. Krabs outside, but the bus comes speeding along after he leaves. Plankton sits up and he basically watches as the bus collides with him. Now, if that wasn't dark enough, after all this, Plankton finds himself standing on a single mysterious platform. When he looks down, he finds a massive abyss, nothing but darkness, in which a number of whales are all staring at him. To make matters worse, he can faintly hear the voices of his family members calling out to him, wanting him to join them down in that darkness. Now, when Plankton looks up, he sees a bright light, and the light can kind of be seen as heaven, while the abyss can be seen as you-know-what. Eventually, Plankton ends up coming to terms with his fate, and he lunges down into the darkness, embracing the whales and his family. And this is when the creepypasta actually ends. And in all honesty, it's one of the few times that I actually felt bad for Plankton. The next character that we're going to talk about is Meat Canyon SpongeBob, and as the name suggests, this SpongeBob was actually created by the YouTuber named Meat Canyon, and if you haven't seen his videos yet, it is absolutely nightmare fuel. All of them. This version of SpongeBob is basically really similar to the original SpongeBob, but obviously he's all disformed and misfigured. And this is literally because the secret formula is actually within this version of SpongeBob, kind of like the tortured one. And Mr. Krabs and Squidward love that secret formula so much that they can't even wait for him to make the burgers. They just eat it directly from him. And again, this is why his body is so disfigured and misformed. One of the most creepy things about this, though, is that SpongeBob doesn't even mind them consuming pieces of him. He actually loves giving pieces of himself away. And this is why in the mall we literally see him stumped in front of the grill, contemplating how much he loves his life and how much he loves satisfying the customers and, of course, Krabs. Right here, Corey can actually react to this video when I did Scary Sundays, and his reaction was priceless. I think he completely summed up how people felt when they watched this video. Another beautiful day. Come on. I'm not watching this! No!
It is always starting with the call to serve, fighting and winning for our nation. But Marines are never really finished. They serve in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis. Always faithful. Always Marine.
Ooh, DQ chicken strip basket? I want in on that. House-made Hidden Valley Ranch.
A total of 17 matches now. And Webafet has only won 7 of those 17. Let's get that bumped up. Let's try to retain the title at least once. Okay, so now that is 8 to 10. Let me get it on a different side so I can write down Adam's record. Adam has a 1 win, 1 loss, and then me. I have by far the worst record out of me and Adam so far. but as a team, it's 8-10. So it's terrifying to think about.
Let's go now, or let's get delivery at DQ.com.
The next character I need to talk about is going to be Canon Squidward, and this character is actually a satirical iteration of the Red Mist creepypasta created by Adam Pollilonian, and he's also a minor character in the SpongeBob SquarePants series. He's basically an alternate universe version of Squidward that appeared in a deleted scene of SpongeBob SquarePants called SpongeBob in Random Land, in which SpongeBob and Squidward are sent to a dimension known as Random Land in order to deliver a Krabby Patty. Now, when SpongeBob and Squidward go to Random Land, there's a scene where they're surrounded by a wall of doors. Squidward tries to open some of the doors, only to be met with a strange, warped version of himself and SpongeBob. In one of the doors, Squidward finds what looks like his bedroom, before it quickly is replaced by a background of TV static accompanied by white noise. Canon Squidward then appears immediately after, flashing rapidly in front of the static and staring maliciously
So I have
at
the
Squidward.
worst record out of me and Adam.
Squidward quickly closes the door and he complains about Random Land being a nightmare, and this is actually the only time that we see Canon Squidward appear in the SpongeBob series. A fun fact about Canon Squidward is that even though his scene is considered to be deleted in the UK and also the US, other countries like Russia, Spain, South Korea, and France still air the regular scene, so if people really want to watch it, they can find it. Now I want to go ahead and cover some of the major characters that were supposed to be in the mod but ended up being scrapped. And the first character that I want to start off with is going to be Horror Tales Patrick, who I also use in the thumbnail because he just looks super creepy. Now apparently this version of Patrick comes from an alternate universe where basically Patrick goes on a unaliving spree. And in the comic, the first victim that we actually get to see him go after is Plankton, and I cannot show you the image because it is absolutely gory. But considering that Patrick has Squidward's face over his face, I think you can probably understand just how bad this comic is. I think this image right here kind of sums it up as well, because SpongeBob definitely looks like he's in trouble here. The next character on the list is somebody that you're all probably familiar with if you watched SpongeBob back in the day, and that's the hash-slinging Slasher. He was initially canceled, but was supposed to be brought out in this new update, but of course now that the mod is canceled, he's not going to be making an appearance. Now, for those of you that don't know, this character is basically like a urban legend in Bikini Bottom, and his character became so popular that you can even find little indie games that kind of feature him like going after SpongeBob. He's a pretty cool character. Now, another character that ended up being scrapped is called Diabetes Patrick, and his backstory is actually kind of interesting. Diabetes Patrick wasn't simply scrapped because the mod went down, but actually because of the community. The development team ended up getting upset with the community because they kept begging to add this character into the mod. The developers got so sick of getting this request that they just completely scrapped the character altogether. And let's be honest, the Friday Night Fucking community can be really annoying when they really want something, so nobody should be surprised about that. Now, as far as his backstory goes, Patrick actually got diabetes because he was eating a ton of ice cream. Now, in the actual story, it seems that both SpongeBob and Patrick overdosed on ice cream and fell into a coma, but only Patrick ended up getting diabetes. Another character that was actually scrapped from the game is called Slendy Bob, and Slendy Bob, as you can tell just by looking at him, was basically a psychopath who was trying to unalive everybody, and would pretty much do anything that he needed to do in order to accomplish that task. I believe he started going insane because he was actually fired from the Krusty Krab. And on top of that, apparently he was obsessed and very anxious about a game called Doom on Xbox One, and that's kind of what started his thirst for blood. And it seems like this version of SpongeBob was so serious about unaliving people that he didn't only do it to citizens, but also his friends and family. Even though there's more scrapped characters, the last one that I'm going to cover is Sponge XML, and this character was actually scrapped due to his relationship with Rebby. I don't know if you all remember Rebby in the drama that she was in with the Sonic.exe team, but it seems like that relationship there kind of made it to where they didn't want this character in the game, and just the concept of the character wasn't really received well by the development team in general. Now, Sponge XML is kind of interesting because the form that we see right here isn't actually his true form. It's kind of like a disguise, kind of like Faker Sonic. But when his facade drops, you see this monstrosity version of SpongeBob that almost looks like part werewolf, part sponge. It has these elongated limbs, and it also has claws.
What the hell is with me? Oddball's moments that broke me. Let me check this out. Not the fridge!
Relax. Toasty's just expressing himself. Slicing the slut. Toasty, my Toasty. Oh hey, you're probably wondering
wondering how I got in this situation. Well, it all started with home.
Did you know
What? No! Walking's outlaw!
I have not lost a fight after me and Adam have become the champ. That is terrifying to think about. Wing 4 carrot. Wait, it's time, Tony? What? He's lost to the top 5. I don't want his record. I don't believe Tony's time is up. Like, he just fought Diaz, and I'm pretty sure the only reason he took him down was because of how much his leg was bleeding, so... Come on. Don't say he's done. He's not done.
That's the big...
I'm about to watch a video about every UFC heavyweight championship knockout. Okay, now, who is the winner? Adam is now 4-2 as a solo wrestler with his solo career.
Weight advantage. Maurice Smith wanted a tired Tank Abbott on the beat where he can pick and choose the strikes he wishes to land. Don't grab your trunks, and that's it. Tank doesn't want it anymore. He doesn't want it anymore.
29-year-old wrestler Kevin Randleman.
We've seen a man Randleman is really
continuing to pound away. And continuing and continuing. It's over. It is over. Randy Couture on the line. Randy Couture. Pedro Hizzle. So right into the fence to try to finish this fight. In round 3.
Adam is now 5-2.
Trying to finish it. And he does. As Barnett will look for a submission.
See who's going to finish here. Got 30 seconds left. He's punching it. He's second for Randy Couture. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new champion. UFC Heavyweight Championship.
I'm down with that. You know what? I'm going with Wolfie VGC. That's boring.
Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper,
I hate
Impossible.
Whoppers.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are so close, I can almost taste them. However,
Having just competed in the Pokemon World Championships, Sword and Shield's aftertaste continues to linger. Generation 8 is unique in that Sword and Shield remained the main platform for competitive Pokemon and received support from Game Freak throughout the entire generation. Typically, the remake and enhanced versions would take the stage upon release, but that wasn't the case for Gen 8. Because of this, we've all been playing Sword and Shield for 3 whole years as opposed to 1 or 2. I have milked this game dry. Trust me when I say I've been living off crumbs these last few months. I mean, I even beat Emerald Kaizo for content. Anyway, let's use today's video as a palate cleanser for whatever delicacies await us in Generation 9, and take a look back at Pokemon Sword and Shield. Pokemon Sword and Shield were officially revealed on Pokemon Day 2019. The trailer gave us glimpses of our protagonists, our starters, and the Galar region, which would be based on the United Kingdom. The gameplay didn't look too different from Sun and Moon, but at least the graphics were up-resed. Rumors circulated for months before we got another peek. In June, we were given a second trailer that showed us a few Galar Pokemon, the Wild Area, Dynamax, and our new legendaries. After getting Overworld Pokemon and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, people were excited to see them make their way into Sword and Shield. But the return of the classic linear route design and fixed camera were not greeted with open arms. My arms were crossed. Tightly. The open world area looked like a step forward for the series, but we were all confused why the whole game couldn't be like this. The Switch can run Skyrim, Xenoblade, The Witcher. You're telling me it can't run an open world Pokemon game? Before we knew it, artist renditions of the games we had hoped for began circulating online. This one, in particular, showed up on my timeline for like 2 years. But the negativity train was revving its engines. Its first victim? A tree. Who would have thought a compressed JPEG of a tree would be the loudest source of discussion around this trailer? This tree texture, while admittedly not super easy on the eyes, was blown way out of proportion. Some people even sold merch around it. To some, this was proof that these games were rushed and unpolished. That the Pokemon Company had stopped caring. The games were just another product to be churned out for easy money. Is this true? Who knows? Pokemon is the highest grossing franchise of all time. Shouldn't they be putting more effort into these graphics? I do think there's more to the story than this, but I'm an optimist. I'll let you decide. Not long after, we got Sword and Shield's biggest controversy, Dexit. Honestly, the conversation around Dexit is way more annoying than Dexit itself, so I won't get into it. All you gotta know is Sword and Shield was only going to have 400 of the 900-ish Pokemon in the franchise, and people were big
Hello,
and
John
mad.
Cena. Wait a second. I'm not supposed to see you. Wait a second. The space-time continuum. It's evaporating. Oh no. We're dying. Everyone's dying. On from being 0-1 to 2-1 to 2-2. How am I this unlucky?
Calls to boycott or restore the Pokedex were making the rounds on all social media platforms for months. Game Freak tried to remedy the situation by addressing the concerns and making it clear that they weren't adding more Pokemon.
No, I don't feel like it. Mainly because this is the story of Webbuffet, not the way of Webbuffet. The team of Adam and me. You'll never guess which guy is Adam. And the team has had, in total, so Webbuffet has had 7 wins, 10 losses, and has gone only up by wins. You can see Adam. You'll never guess which one he is, though. But there's 7, 8, 9 wins, and 10 losses for the team. The 7th, 8th, and 9th wins were the title fights. And then Adam went 1-1, and then 2-1, and then 2-2, and then 3-2, and then 5-2, and then 4-2, and then 5-2, and then 6-2, and then 6-3, and then 7-3. And I went 0-1, 1-1, 2-1, and 2-2 now. So, Now this is going to be, can Adam continue his win streak? Because he has had a pretty good win streak. And it continues. Oh, wait, I gotta check my character. And I got another win.
But that only made things worse. It was a messy time. But there's no justification for the harassment the developers had to endure. So next time you're upset that we're not getting enough trailers or interviews on the new games, you know why. So November came around and Sword and Shield were officially released. Despite claims that the games would perform poorly due to all the controversies, they ended up surpassing everyone's expectations. In their first week, Sword and Shield sold 6 million...
I don't know. I actually don't download guys often. Okay, early when the game came out, I downloaded a bunch of people and then I stopped.
units, beating Super Smash Bros. Ultimate by 1,000,000 units, and making them the fastest-selling Switch games at the time. Better yet, the games were received fairly well by critics and fans alike. Of course, the Dexit crowd was still seething with anger, but most people agreed the games were good with an assortment of hiccups. The games have been clouded with negative...
A guy named Joey Jr. is John Cena's son. When there's a junior, that means that is the young... Like, they have the same name as their dad. Adam has had a total of 13 singles matches. He's won 10 of them. This man does not know the meaning of the word loss.
Let's go over the positives first. The new Pokemon were good. For the most part, they had great designs with thematic ties to the region. The regional forms especially. Never have I seen such a combination of design and theme before Galar's Pokedex. Many Galar Pokemon even began dominating the metagame, with some going on to become essentials for VGC. I remember having the time of my life sweeping entire teams with Dracovish. It wasn't even Dynamaxed. Speaking of Dynamax, I actually love this mechanic. If you want to hear me go more in depth on why I love it, check out the video where I rank every gimmick we have so far. For now, I'll just say that I think it reinvigorated my love for competitive Pokemon by making every match more like a chess game and less like an unbalanced anxiety machine. A lot of people claimed it was lame for just making your Pokemon get bigger and overpowered for 3 turns, but I see it as way more than that. Maybe it's because it was clearly designed for competitive Pokemon, which are all double battles. I do feel bad for the people who play the fan modes of Pokemon, like single battles, especially as this generation, it really felt like Game Freak was doing everything in its power to get rid of them. Rest in peace, 60-minute timer. Online laddering was better than ever. Pick the singles or doubles ladder, pick your team, pick your music. Now here's a minute to decide how you're going to crush your opponent. The rental system was easy and here's a free, competitive-ready team. I can't...
This is 10 wins, 11 losses. So that's 21 matches in total they've had as a team.
Stress enough what a big deal this was for competitive Pokemon. One of the biggest things holding competitive Pokemon back is that it takes time to train up your team to use in-game. That we could now share good, competitively trained teams for new players to use was massive in bringing down that barrier to entry. And with the exception of the sandstorm weather effect, the matches ran perfectly,
11-11.
even with giant Pokemon dropping slabs of rock on each other. It doesn't quite make sense that you're standing in front of your Pokemon while this happens, but whatever. Breeding and raising money... BP, and other essentials for competitive play was also easier, thanks to the wild area and max raid dens. Plus, you could experience this with 3 of your friends. The community aspect of Pokemon we enjoyed as kids had new life breathed into it with max raid battles. The battle itself isn't anything special, but being able to hunt for shiny, high IV, and Gigantamax Pokemon with your buddies is definitely a huge step forward for the series. We can see the effects of this philosophy evolving even more with Dynamax Adventures and Scarlet and Violet's open-world multiplayer mode. Other quality of life changes were added that made playing through the story more fun as well. There was a free move tutor and name raider at every Pokemon Center, so now you had more room to experiment. If you wanted to switch up your party, you could do so straight from your menu. You no longer needed to go to the PC. HMs were gone, and autosave was in. For the first time, a mainline Pokemon game finally had autosave. Kinda mind-blowing that this was never a thing for a series that is known for grinding. I remember playing through 3 gyms, only for my Game Boy to die before I could save. I lost everything that day. I've never been the same since. Thanks to autosave, grinding was practically erased from the game with the addition of the experience share that couldn't be turned off. As you can imagine, not everyone was happy about this. It didn't really bother me because I've never found the mainline games hard, even without experience share. Besides, it's clear Sword and Shield were designed with it in mind, unlike some games. I would also argue that this gives you more incentive to try out different Pokemon throughout your playthrough and to complete the Pokedex. By the way, I've never actually completed the Pokedex. Today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh. HelloFresh delivers fresh, quality produce from the farm to your door in less than a week, allowing you to enjoy the delicious flavors of the season right from your home. I've actually been using HelloFresh personally for a few weeks now, and I've been very impressed. I've had a ton of delicious vegetarian meals, and I save a ton of time because most meals can be ready to eat in around 30 minutes. I also just personally hate going to the grocery store, so having everything I need to eat well delivered to me makes my life much easier. Foolproof, step-by-step recipes mean a joyful cooking experience and stress-free meals. Use my link or go to HelloFresh.com and use code POGWOLFOctober65 for 65% off plus free shipping on your first box. Once you click, my description will live update to count up the purchases. Thanks again to HelloFresh for the sponsor. Before we move on to the negatives, I just want to add that Sword and Shield music is some of the best in the series to date. The Gym Leader theme? Marnie's battle theme? Eternatus' third theme? I mean, come on. You could play this at a rave and the crowd would go nuts. Postwick, Route 1, Hop's battle theme. I mean, it's banger after banger. I just feel like barely anyone talks about Sword and Shield's music that much, and it should be appreciated more. Now on to the negatives. I know the wild area is a great direction for the series and blah 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 blah, but why does it have to be so plain? Like, half of it is just straight up grassland. Yeah, there's some scenery, and it opens up once you get floaties on your bike, but there's not much to dig into. Why do we suddenly black out every time they start digging? Game Freak really couldn't animate someone digging? Finally awake. Yeah, the wild area might be a cool feature, but unless you're hunting for something specific, its novelty wears off pretty quickly, especially when you use it online. Instead of having a set number of players pop into your game to play along with you, the developers opted for a strange NPC/MMO style online mode that pops in a bajillion people onto your screen that you can't even tell are real or not. When you try communicating with them, you just get a generic phrase and a gift, and the game lags. It's like crazy. Riding through a dust storm with your internet on feels like your Switch is about to explode. don't even get me started on the Wycom. Does this thing even work? Why am I not seeing raid requests? Why are half of them locked behind a password? What kills me about the Wycom is that back in Generation 6, Pokemon made the perfect system for all of this, the PSS. It was so well made, I thought it would be around forever. I mean, they couldn't really improve on it. And then came the Festival Plaza. At the time, I was devastated. They made something so much worse. And now, I miss the Festival Plaza dearly. That's how bad Wycom is. Anyway, back to the story. If you've seen enough of my videos, then you know that I couldn't really care less about the story in Pokemon games. Did Sword and Shield do anything to change that? No. If anything, it made me hate the stories even more. I am so tired of the same formula being reused in every mainline game. Meet the professor, get a starter, battle 8 gyms as you get interrupted by your rival, and boring villains. Catch the legendary, beat the game. No matter how many of the specifics changed, these are the core elements of every mainline Pokemon game, and Sword and Shield is no different. Like the games before it, your journey is a linear path with endless bodies of text. At least there were less cutscenes than Ultra Sun and Moon. A video game made for the Nintendo Switch by the highest selling franchise of all time still doesn't have voice acting. I'm willing to excuse Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl for not having it, because that might just be off-putting, but not even Legend Arceus has it. I understand that these games are enjoyed by countless other countries who speak different languages, but so many other games find a way to make it work. If the Pokemon Company is so dead set on not hiring voice actors for every language, well, there are other ways around that. The Sims speak Simlish. Animal Crossing villagers speak gibberish. Half the people in Pokemon exclusively speak Japanese for all I care. Just do something to fill this dead air. As I mentioned, the route design in Sword and Shield is fairly linear. Every so often it can branch off into a secret area, but this is nothing compared to previous games. It seems like the designers put all their effort into the wild area.
Let's start with one simple question. Can you fly? Absolutely first. The world needed a hero. Instead, it got me. This is gonna be fun. Black Adam. Get tickets now. Rated PG-13. If you can empty a minibar...
Embarrassing. These games already have a reputation for being hallway simulators. Now we have a city that is a literal hallway. This town's saving grace is the thematic weight it has on the lore. Spikemuth is run down, doesn't have the ability to use Dynamax, and contains the first Dark-type gym in the series. The citizens are seen as outcasts who shut their gate off to the rest of the region. Unfortunately, there's just no escaping how boring the design is. What sucks even more is that these towns could have been the best in the series had they just gotten more work put into them. This is the last negative I have for the base game. The battle animations. Now, I understand that animating every single Pokemon using every single move in their moveset could be a headache. I understand Game Freak is on a clock here. It might not be feasible at this point, but, I mean, come on, at least look at the animations. Sometimes the default animations look so goofy, I can't help but cringe. This is less a criticism of the developers, and more so the conditions they're forced to work under. Pokemon games are timed to release alongside the anime, toys, and a card game. If the games get postponed, the rest of their products would be too. Let these games get as much time as they need to be the best.
Did the anime come out, I don't know, I think it came out, I think that it came out, a year after that came out, and the cards came out months after, so...
best they can be, and the other products will reap the same rewards. Also, to be fair, there are some really great animations in the game. Like, look at No Retreat. I just wish there were less of a discrepancy between the best and worst animations. Hey, it's me, Wolf. Hey, you should subscribe to the channel. Come on, it's cool to do it. Come on. You want to do it, right? Come on. Back to the video. I don't think I've mentioned it, but I actually don't think these games are bad. If they were bad, me and millions of other fans wouldn't have kept playing all these years. Part of the reason we've stuck around is because Game Freak has continued to support them. Most people usually beat the story and then move on to the next thing. Game Freak sought out to stop this by taking a page out of the live service style game and keeping Sword and Shield alive through various in-game events. Prior entries had themed competitions in VGC to keep us hooked, but the only events for the base games were always distributions. You know the ones where you'd awkwardly bring your Nintendo DS to a GameStop and hope nobody from school saw you. I'm glad those are gone.
Oh, yeah.
With Max Raids, catching these distribution Pokemon was an in-game challenge, rather than the in-person challenge of going outside. The Who's That Pokemon gimmick from the anime made its way into the game to show you what would be in the den you were entering. Once or twice a month, Game Freak would program in rare Pokemon or Pokemon with higher odds of being a shiny. Really, these were just distribution events, but now you had to fight them, and you could do it with your friends. No more hiding in the corner trying to connect your DS to GameStop's crappy Wi-Fi before someone from school walked in. I really appreciate that Game Freak continued to give us themed competitions as well. My favorite was a tournament that required every team to have a Magikarp, which you can watch me compete in here. This was nearly 3 years after the game came out. We got competitions for Galar Pokemon, Baby Pokemon, Scary Pokemon. There was even one that only allowed Pokemon that knew Metronome, which I also made a video on. If you thought competitive Pokemon relied too much on luck before this, wait till you try this format. For those who wanted to compete in
I just love that. I just love the move Metronome. Webbuffet is barely getting any matches. No. Always gave it. No one will survive. Yeah, no one will survive.
In-person tournaments, but could not attend, there were online international challenges and Players' Cups instead. The first international challenge even awarded CP to use to award the World Championships. All the international challenges would award BP, in-game clothing, or shiny legendaries, and anyone who played at least 3 matches would receive them. Because the competitive circuit was cancelled, the Pokemon Company created the Players' Cup, online tournaments that you actually had to qualify for. These were fantastic, because we got to see so many new faces and playstyles. Making it to Nationals or Worlds requires a lot of time, money, and travel. So to have what essentially is an online version of that was amazing to see. Accessibility creates more opportunity and growth, so everyone wins in the long run. Not to mention, whoever won received a travel award for the next international competition they wanted to attend. I'm proud to have been the winner of the second Players' Cup, and I hope to see them return for Scarlet and Violet. If you just wanted to play on the ladder, there were enough shakeups to the metagame to keep you interested in that as well. That is, until they showed up. Typically, each series in VGC would add or ban certain Pokemon. Series 6 banned the top 10 most used Pokemon from Series 5. Series 12 allowed the use of 2 restricted Pokemon on each team. One of the most popular series in competitive Pokemon was one that didn't allow Dynamax at all. Even though I love Dynamax, I'll admit it was refreshing to play some old-fashioned Pokemon with no gimmicks involved. Players seem to agree, because this series saw a spike in active users, and the game had been out for 2 years at this point. You guys really hate Dynamax. It's okay, Colossal. I still love you. At this point, the Pokemon Company was faced with a crucial decision. Do we release a third version, possibly losing money and the player base that we've cultivated? Do we remake Generation 4 and hope players shift over to that? No. Let's do the more sensible, modern video game trope. Downloadable content. Sword and Shield's first DLC was the Isle of Armor, an island off the coast of Galar that is home to the Master Dojo and 107 Pokemon from previous generations. 380...
Okay. We are... How many weeks away? We are 2 weeks away until the end of this entire thing. Because this would have been 1 whole year.
3 left to go. The whole island is completely open world and has so much to explore. I know this because the DLC forces it down your throat in lieu of a proper story. When you arrive at the Master Dojo, you're given 3 trials in order to...
Okay. And we won at WrestleMania. Okay, so I will put down actual goals I had for the team. Oh! At the very end, we finally have another loss. After we got to 13 losses, we became unstoppable. 4. Okay, so we got to 13. We were unbeatable for 2 matches. So, goals I had. I gotta actually write those down because I just realized I didn't write down what goals. So, the things were be at WrestleMania, done. Win at WrestleMania, done. Win the title, done. Defend the title, done. Not lose a match, not done. Because we did lose matches. But, the total record for Adam and for the entire thing. God, look at Adam's now, because I know he went on a winning streak. Like, this man's solo win streak was, like, something you'd hear John Cena do. He probably did do something like Adam's. He copied Adam. Adam just might want to get a lawsuit for that, so. Adam's record. Alright. Flip the paper. Twice. So Adam's total record was 12 and 3. Okay, no Adam anymore. No. Hughes was 6 and 3. Me and Adam both lost the same amount of matches on our own. Now, Web of Fett. Web of Fett's wins and losses were 19 to 14. Now then. All together, that is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. 37 wins and 20 losses. Adam, that is not a lot many losses for. Wait, that is a total. Okay, so for matches, that is. So. Well, if we lost. So. Okay, now that I know how to do win percentages, so set 0 and then equals 7. He had 0 ties plus 0.7 plus 0.5 times 5. So add that number to half of the tie result. There were 0 ties, so that would be 0 plus 7 times 0.5. Be 3.5. Then plus 7 plus 0.5 times the wins. Well, it's if it's times the wins, so times the wins, that would be 12, divided by, wait, no, not divided by, wait, now then, enter, that would be 13, and then that divided by 3, then that times 15. Would be 65. His WP was 65. %. Now then, for me, we do the exact same thing. So it would be 0 plus the amount of wins, I think. So 6 plus 0.5 times. Wait, no, it's plus my amount of wins would be 10. Then divide the number by the amount of games, so divided by 9 would be my win percentage was 1. Okay, now then. 7 plus 0.5 times the amount of wins, and that is 19. Holy crap. Equals 16.5. And then divide that by the amount of losses. So, by the amount of matches, and so 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So, divided by 33 is 0.5 what? 16, not 0.2, 0.5 would be 2. So that means the total matches was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24. Then 24 plus 33, 24, 25, 26, 27, 20, 30, 57 total matches, with the WP, so the win percentage, being, so, let me do this all again, 7 plus, wait a second, yes, hello. So, the entire team's win percentage was 0.670365993. And let me check the thing real quick to see how long it says we were a part of the roster. It should say 1 year. If I click here. Time active. 11 months? Wait, we're not even done yet. Where are we at 11 months? 1 more month. That means. That is current, then. Next show. Oh, wait, the next show is the New Year. Now it's been 1 year. Yep, 1 year. That is the entire record for 1 whole year. I'm gonna try and summon Logan. All caps. Logan! Just yelling at him.
To receive Kubfu, the pre-evolution of Urshifu, Master Legendary.
Yaradon.
For the Isle of Armor. The trials are as follows. Defeat 3 Slowpoke in the Soothing Wetlands, find 3 clusters of Max Mushrooms in Warm-Up Tunnel, and then battle your new rival, which you've already done a handful of times. Once you receive Kubfu, you'll have to raise its friendship by taking it to 4 different locations around the island and viewing the scenery? After this, Kubfu will be ready to evolve, but you'll have to decide between its 2 forms. Urshifu Rapid Strike, a fighting and water type, or Urshifu Single Strike, a fighting and dark type. You won't be able to obtain its other form unless you trade for it, so you really had to do your research if you were going to use it competitively. I really like both Urshifu forms, and even used one of them to win the Players' Cup too. It's clear that it was designed specifically for competitive play due to its ability Unseen Fist, which allows it to hit through Protect. Its signature Gigantamax move also hits through Max Guard, which wasn't penetrable before this. This portion of the Isle of Armor story is playable after you've visited the wild area on mainland Galar, but you'd have to become the champion and beat the post-game before you could unlock its final act. Guess what? It's just another fetch quest. At least you get a genuinely tough battle against the Dojo Master out of it. You're probably thinking I hated the Isle of Armor, but there was actually quite a bit to like about it as well. This DLC was great in that it was a huge step forward towards breaking down the barrier of entry for competitive Pokemon. Max Soup allowed players to give any Pokemon its Gigantamax form, provided it had one. Feathers were floating around the Honeycomb Sea, so you could boost your EVs easier. The Move Tutor introduced dozens of new moves that changed the metagame forever, and the vending machine gave us vitamins at a discounted rate, assuming you had enough watts to even install it in the first place. But the best addition of all was Lady Clear, who would reset your Pokemon's EVs for only 10 Armorite ore, one of the many currencies in Sword and Shield. Clearing your EVs is great for Pokemon that need to be adjusted for new metas. You could also use it if you messed up during training. Better yet, you could also use it on your story team. Finally, you can battle competitively with all those Pokemon you bonded with during your playthrough. Have a Pokemon from your childhood you want to play with again? Trade it up to Sword and Shield, reset its EVs, and raise it from the ground up. It's genius if you ask me. Someone please rescue this lady though. She's been stranded on this tiny piece of land for like years. The second DLC, the Crown Tundra, was definitely a step up, but it suffered from very high highs and super low lows. It also introduced 123 more Pokemon from prior generations. Almost got there. Sorry guys, the highest of the highs was the map. It was everything the wild area and the Isle of Armor should have been, taking the open world approach and blending it with that classic Pokemon route design. You can actually get lost in caves again. All the scenery felt lived in and unique, and the landmarks actually had something to do with the story. Remember the Watchtower ruins from the wild area? It's totally pointless. The Crown Tundra's locations were all important and memorable. Dynatree Hill features a giant berry tree surrounded by the legendary Galarian birds. Approaching it will activate a cutscene where the birds disperse. Each one becomes a chase to catch up to and battle. This, my friends, is what a roaming legendary should be. No more walking back and forth in tall grass with a Max Repel until it pops up. That's annoying. We are not playing on a Game Boy anymore, folks.
Yippee!
Throughout the tundra
I'm done
has
for now.
Reggie Ice, Reggie Rock, Reggie
That
Steel,
takes 2
and the
hours,
choice
it
of
says.
Reggie Lucky or
God
Reggie
damn.
Drago. Picking one, of course,